New releases this week. Fantastic. Raised by Wolves season 2 came out.
I saw the trailer for this, and we talked about it last week. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, this looks fucking cool, and I can't believe I've never seen it.
It looks fun, and I like that the synopsis is a little bit more tight this week to help me kind of remember. So it's 2 androids, father and mother. That's their names. Picture it here in this slide is actually mother holding a what would you call that? Fetus? Because it's not quite alive. It still doesn't have eyelids that are separated.
Embryo.
Father and mother tasked with raising human children on Kepler 22b after the Earth was destroyed by a great war. As the burgeoning colony of humans threatens to be torn apart by religious differences, the androids learn that controlling the beliefs of humans is a treacherous and difficult task. For sure.
I like the guy who plays Ragnar from Vikings. He's really good. And he looks fucking creepy in this, and I really like it.
Spoiler, that character is great. Because that character definitely...
Really?
Yeah, it's such a weird character because there's like plastic surgery involved and shit like that. It's dope.
I want to see him in more, man. He's like... He plays his characters really well. And I'm excited for this. Last time, I think that when this first came out, it was either you or someone else said it was kind of a slog, but I heard it picks up.
I think, yeah, there's some bits that are... It's definitely... There's a lot of world building, right? You're explaining a previous planet that was destroyed. You're explaining a new planet that's basically uninhabitable, but kind of inhabitable. And there's potentially no life forms on the planet. And then you find that there might be. It's wild, but like, it's that's definitely cool. Worth the first couple of episodes of slogging. Next up, came out today. I've already watched the Marshawn Lynch episode of Murderville. Awesome.
Is it dope?
Awesome.
I'm excited for it.
Because he's definitely... okay, so what they're definitely doing is like giving them the premise, the special guests. They're also giving them like kind of some leeway, and you can tell people show up with puns, like ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, so they can slip them in whenever they want to seem a little funnier. But like Marshawn, I mean, we know it. Man.
Marshawn's just funny, dude.
He was quick.
He's someone I want to see, and I want to see him in more things just because he's funny. John Cena's not.
He was so funny that like people that were clearly trying to stick to the story and had a script were like trying not to break character. Like Will Arnett had to like go with his ad-libbing and just
that's awesome.
Call an imaginary person and say some shit. I was giggling my face off.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this. This looks fucking funny.
Yes. So that came out, all 6 episodes. Check it out if you haven't seen it.
Oh, did it? Did all 6 episodes come out?
Yeah.
I want to watch the one with the girl from Schitt's Creek.
Yes, her name is
Annie
oh my God.
Oakley.
That's it.
No, it's not Annie
That's
Oakley.
Not Annie. It's Annie something. Not Leibowitz.
Potts.
Why is it not
Potter? Samsonite.
I'm
way off.
Murderville, Annie.
Check out Annie Murphy. I know it's that. It's definitely Annie Murphy. It just came right to me. I was about to quote check out the buns on that guy, or check on the buns on that one, and Jeff Daniels goes, yeah, he must work out. So good. Dumb and Dumber is such a good movie. I'm sorry.
It's good unless you watch it on repeat, and then you're like, okay.
All right.
Is this funny, or am I just slowly becoming dumber and dumber?
I would say, and I'm putting myself out there, one of the funniest lines in any movie that has ever been said is when the cop, who's played by the dude from Rocket Man, is trying to pull them over, and he's like, pull over, and Jim Carrey's like, actually, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing. It's the best delivery of a comedic line in any movie. It gets me every goddamn time because it's so witty.
It's like, oh, you thought my response was going to be about what you're saying? This is the other direction.
It's a cardigan, but it's so good. I can't get over it.
I love it. But you know what you don't love? You don't love this guy. John Cena, Peacemaker, episode 6.
I'm
came
waiting
out
for
today.
all the episodes to come out, and then I'm gonna watch it at one.
It's definitely. I shared with you him naming all the different people that could have been framed for XYZ instead of him.
I saw that. That was pretty fucking funny.
That was like, damn. I don't care if they're all kind of written on a folder on the desk he's sitting in front of, but that was fantastic. Of course, as always, I love myself, love my name. So hearing Bert and Ernie also getting chosen as people to be framed for murder instead of him, fantastic. Even Ice-T tweeted a response to that saying like, hey, thanks James Gunn for trying to frame me for murder, because he gets called out with Ice Cube and Ice-T. Fantastic. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. One thing I didn't notice, and if somebody else did notice, was that the guy who plays Vigilante, whenever Vigilante is not wearing the helmet, he's kind of not in frames with many people. Because I think he was recast later on. So I think they swapped him out.
Oh, did Chris D'Elia play him? And then
I bet
they swapped him out like Tig Notaro.
It's pretty much the same thing, but like a lot tighter camera work, so it doesn't seem like they're on completely different planets. Much like Tig.
The few clips that I've seen of that actor too,
Freddie
Strom from Harry Potter.
Yeah, Freddie Stroma.
And like, he looks like he is very funny. So
what's even funnier is that Freddie Stroma and James Gunn are also two people that he suggests to have framed instead of him, and the guy responds, "Those last two aren't even real."
That's pretty goddamn
And he's
funny.
sitting there in the room with him. That's fantastic.
So good.
Yeah, I just love it. Again, not taking itself too seriously. Super fun. Oh, Annie Potts is from Ghostbusters.
That's right. She's the
Nice. Thanks, Matthew.
receptionist. Annie Potts. Yeah. And Annie Oakley's from Davy Crockett.
I was going to say, that's pretty sure that's an older Western thing. And then, of course, Book of Boba Fett this week. Time for some spoilers.
I don't understand how this show keeps getting crazier and crazier. Because I was cool on this show for the first fucking 4 episodes. And I was like, all right, it's good. And then episode 5 came in and you're like, all right, this is fucking sweet. And then episode 6 came in and you're like, what?
Yep. And I just want to say, I'm going to try not to break my arm, patting myself in the back here. I called it. It was chainmail. I knew it.
You did.
I knew
you
it.
Did call
little
it
chainmail shirt, little baby shirt,
fucking dope.
so he doesn't get killed by Kylo Ren.
The thing that has always tripped me up since watching The Mandalorian and seeing Luke Skywalker. First of all, the deep fake that they did of Mark Hamill, exceptional. You can
good.
barely fucking tell that it's actually not Mark Hamill.
Good. Yeah.
I was like, that is so goddamn good. And like to the point where like now I just want movies with all of them in it. Like, what if Han Solo shows up at the end of fucking episode 7?
Like that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, okay, when do we see a baby Ben Solo? Where do we see? Because that's the other thing too. Okay, so end of the episode, or the whole episode really is Luke and Grogu getting their like 1980s montage on of Luke training Grogu, right?
Yeah.
And then of course at the end, Mandalorian has talked to Ahsoka. They've had a little back and forth. He gives Ahsoka the chainmail shirt to give to Grogu, and there's a decision to be made for Grogu. Do you pick the lightsaber, which is Yoda's lightsaber, by the way, which is dope? I don't know how he
Which there's some controversy behind that.
Why? Because how did he get it?
It is, yeah, because apparently in a book that is considered canon, that lightsaber was destroyed before this.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, fucking, nah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm speechless. This fucking episode is so good.
So the
Keep
reason
talking about
no, you're fine. The reason I'm butthurt about it is because he gives him this choice. Do you choose the gift from Mando, or do you choose the lightsaber? Basically, choosing to keep your possessions of the past and holding on to those people, or do you choose the Jedi way and you take the lightsaber and you abandon all like love of the outside world? That's such bullshit. Such bullshit.
Let me
coming
tell you
from
what.
Luke fucking Skywalker, whose sister and Han Solo, and he trains his own nephew. Really, bro?
Couple of things about that. So, what I was saying before that I totally got completely sidetracked talking about how good the fucking deepfake was. Ahsoka Tano. I haven't seen all of Rebels. I've seen all of Clone Wars. Ahsoka Tano to me is still like a tiny little Togruta Padawan who like turns into a little bit of a badass in Clone Wars. And then you realize that this is after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, this is like 20 years later.
She is literally the most senior Jedi on the planet at this point, in the galaxy at this point.
Yeah.
Like she is the boss. I know she fucking fights Vader at some point in
I thought you were going to say sleeps with Luke Skywalker, but
no.
Okay.
But I want to know what happens to her because she was very much the anti-Jedi in Clone Wars.
Right.
And even from what I hear in Rebels too, where like one of the clips that I saw is like Ahsoka's talking to Vader and Vader's like, that's not the Jedi way. And her response is, I'm no Jedi. And she seems very...
Yeah, for some reason,
she seems very Jedi in this. So I want to know what the fuck happens. Because I know there's like a thing with Ezra Bridger, Admiral Thrawn, because she mentions it in The Mandalorian, because she's talking about Thrawn specifically.
Right.
She is one of the most compelling characters in Star Wars and is a product completely of Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni saved Darth Maul. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have Bo-Katan. We wouldn't have any of this bullshit without Dave Filoni. I mean, all these memes of like give Star Wars completely to Dave Filoni, Bryce Dallas Howard, and fucking Jon Favreau are completely right.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely I think that's the way that it should go. I know he was promoted to executive director or something recently. Like he definitely got a big promotion in Lucas Films, so hopefully that happens. But yeah, I think to your point, there has to be something that her change from the Jedi way had to bump her back in line. You know what I'm saying?
She is very Master Tano, like Master Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, she's found
like
that zen
in this, and I'm like,
and self-assurance. Like I know what I'm doing. I know what way I need to go. So you got to assume there was something dark that happened.
And we haven't even fucking mentioned the craziest part of this episode. The craziest part of this episode.
That Grogu tries to eat a frog by floating it into his mouth, because I would do that if I had the Force.
Fucking Cobb Vanth, Timothy Olyphant shows it down with Cad Bane.
And
I was like, what? No.
Dude, the minute I saw that hat, that wide brim, I was like, oh.
Ashley's on the couch, like fucking hitting the pillow, like, is that fucking Cad Bane?
Dude, supposedly, the Cad Bane is the one who gave the dent in the helmet to Boba Fett.
Yeah, man. I cannot fucking wait. And they're even talking like episode 7 maybe popping off too. Like, Dave Filoni, you knew someone was going to show up.
But Cad Bane, pretty.
You knew like Ahsoka was probably going to show back up because it's Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Like, Cad Bane is like awesome.
He could be bluer. His mouth could be lower.
Yeah, the hat could be bigger.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that like they had a 3D model of what this character looks like, and they still were like, "No, his mouth needs to be higher. He also needs to be somehow lighter blue, even though he's constantly walking around outside in the sun."
Yeah,
we're supposed to believe that the hat is just that great.
But dude, all the menace in his voice, it's the same voice actor from Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're like, oh yeah,
you're like, let's go.
Oh yeah,
let's go.
I saw something that they're like setting up a showdown between Boba and Bosk, and possibly Mando and Din and Cad Bane doing like an old Western style shootout in fucking Tatooine. Let's fucking go.
That's one way to get you off Tatooine, if you kill everybody in Mos Espa.
Right.
Should be dope. All right.
Also, Timothy Olyphant is like fine wine, dude. He's coming back for Justified. Did you hear that?
No, he's not.
Yes, he is, and he looks fucking incredible.
He's definitely a good looking man. I will say he's my favorite, like, newer Die Hard movie villain. Obviously, you can't replace Alan Rickman or what's his name, the guy who played the brother of Alan Rickman's character.
Oh yeah. Hans Gruber.
Yes, you can't replace. And then, of course, the actor who plays his brother is correct me if I'm wrong.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons is Alfred to Batfleck.
Yep, he is.
So
Or he was in Dungeons and Dragons.
or Rain of
Remember that
Fire.
shitty movie with he was not in Rain of Fire, but he was in Dungeons and Dragons with Marlon Wayans.
Yes, he was. Yeah, I can't.
And the
wait.
dude from Sliders.
Oh yeah, the main character guy.
Yep. I think that's him. It may not be. Looks like him.
I'm gonna unspoil this. Spoilers are gone.